Yo, people, Firefist Ace here, and I'm here to talk about my top 5 moments in Bleach, okay? It's gonna be my top 5 Bleach moments. So let's begin. For number 5, I'm gonna have to start off with Byakuya versus Renji. Byakuya versus Renji. And it's a very particular scene when Byakuya traps Renji in the prison rod light. I don't know the name of the keto. And Byakuya was like, did you actually forget I actually have Bankai too? And it was so epic because when Byakuya says Bankai, shit's about to get real. When Byakuya says Bankai, so Byakuya says Bankai, drops his sword. I remember this is the first time we actually seen Byakuya's Bankai, drops his sword into the ground. Bankai, you just see millions upon millions of petals, and all the petals circle around Renji. And then I remember it faded to a black and white scene, and then it went to Renji's face. It was black and white, and then blood was just trickling down Renji's face. I'll never forget that moment, man. Blood was just trickling down Renji's face. And then we get a view where we see Renji's entire body. Then blood splatters everywhere. It was gruesome. Okay, I did not think that a man who wields pink petals as a Bankai, I did not know that his Bankai can be that gruesome. And when I say blood, I mean it was a really bloody scene. And this reminded me how I watch that fight from time to time, and then I always say, damn, I always forget how gruesome and bloody Bleach has always been. Well, probably at the beginning of the show. And I was like, wow, that was an epic moment for me. And for me, that's number 5. And for number 4, I'm gonna have to go with Ichigo actually releasing his Bankai. I remember when Ichigo, he actually comes in to save Rukia. He's in, I think, bandages, and I remember he looks like badass. And then Byakuya comes out of nowhere, flash steps. Ichigo actually counters, and he said, I can already see you, Byakuya Kuchiki. And then he takes out 3 lieutenants. Before that scene actually happens, he takes out 3 lieutenants like it's nothing. Like, he takes out 3 lieutenants like it's nothing. Didn't even use his sword. Physical brute strength alone. I was like, whoa, I want to see this. And then Ichigo was like, I have Bankai as well. To Byakuya Kuchi while they're fighting, he's like, I have Bankai as well. And then Ichigo, he undergoes his transformation, points his sword, and then I remember it was like lightning that was on upon his sword and shit. He says Bankai, the whole area begins to shake and stuff, and then he actually releases it, and then it's like a black blade, and then Byakuya was like, can this little thing actually be Bankai? And then Byakuya, he sends Senbon all of the petals towards Ichigo, and with speed alone, Ichigo blocks all of the petals. And I was like, whoa. Like, he actually blocked, like, probably millions and millions of petals in that instant. And then he flash steps and holds his sword at Byakuya's throat. And I was like, man. Ichigo's the man. Ichigo's the man at this point. So that's number 4 for me. And number 3, I'm actually gonna have to go with Ichigo again, but this time Dangai Ichigo. When Ichigo exits the Dangai, he has like a chain around one of his arms, and he has a chain around one of his arms. Ichigo, his hair grows longer. He gets taller. He looks more. I think to me, in my view, he looks more like an adult in Dangai form, because there was like a time lapse where he actually gets older. And I just remember how his eyes looked, and then Gin Ichimaru looked at his eyes and he says, "You know what? Those are good eyes. You're at a level where I can actually die in peace." So, and I remember looking at Ichigo's eyes, and they were brimming full of confidence. And unlike the previous fights that Ichigo had before that fight, Ichigo, his eyes, you could look in his eyes and you could tell there was uncertainties, when he would fight. And I was like, I wonder what Ichigo's gonna do. Ichigo completely, throughout that fight, Ichigo completely outclasses Aizen. And it's not even funny, people. Ichigo outclasses Aizen so bad. I didn't think the fight would actually be like that. I thought the fight would come down to actually one blow, each character, and blood and shit. But man, Ichigo, he completely outclasses Aizen. Then Aizen, he transforms, his final transformation, he uses a Zero Blast on Ichigo. It's I think it's like a almost near atomic explosion. And then Ichigo is like, oh man, is that all you got? I'm very disappointed. And I was like, whoa, what else did Ichigo have up his sleeve? Mugetsu. He uses Mugetsu, final Getsuga Tensho, Mugetsu. And I remember that attack, it wasn't even like a destructive attack, but I have never seen anything like it in anime. I have never seen an attack like that in anime. And then everything, it just returned to darkness, nothingness. Aizen is shrouded in nothingness, darkness. And then and then Aizen is damaged pretty badly. And then Urahara comes in. Urahara comes in and seals Aizen. I'm like, oh my god, this fight was crazy. So that's number 3. And number 2, I'm gonna Yamamoto's Bankai. Yamamoto's Bankai. Okay, north, south, east, and west. And his armor clad is the temperature of the sun. Okay, his armor is the temperature of the sun, and I remember we have all been waiting to see Yamamoto's Bankai. And then bam, Bankai. And his armor is like the sun. He can blow you away with one attack. And for a fire anime character, I have never seen this. He can summon the dead. He summoned dead Quincy's to confront Juha-Bak, to actually restrain Juha-Bak. And I was like, oh man, like Yamamoto, man. I don't think Dangai Ichigo and Hogyoku Aizen, I do not think. Wait. Hogyoku. No, wait. Dangai Ichigo might be able to damage Bankai Yamamoto a little bit. Only if he uses Mugetsu, because that's darkness, and darkness on fire. I don't know how that will work, but in my opinion, it'll probably affect darkness. But hey, I have no idea. So I actually think, but other than that, in a full-on fight, no, I don't think nobody will actually be able to beat Yamamoto. No, strongest Shinigami in heat, and believe me, people, he can back that up. And number 1, I'm gonna have to go with the 1,000-year blood arc, the arc that's going on right now in the manga, people. I'm gonna have to go with this arc overall. and I'm gonna have to go where the Quincy actually invades Soul Society. And I remember one scene where Byakuya comes in. I'm like, yay, you know, Byakuya, he's about to F some shit up. No, As not, he took care of that. As not completely annihilates Byakuya, just completely just disrespects him. Byakuya is bloodied up against the wall. It is like a ton of blood. You can barely recognize Byakuya out of the blood. I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. Kenpachi comes and confronts Juha Bak. Juha Bak beats Kenpachi like a rag doll. I remember one of the Quincy's killed Kira, the one who wills Wabisuke. He kills him. What else? They steal the Bankais. It was like gruesome. It was like hard for me to watch, knowing that the Shinigami were actually going to lose this fight. They lost this fight. Yamamoto actually dies. Okay. I forget the one captain's name. Man. Hold up. I have to look online. I'm sorry. Hold up. Hold up. I forget this captain's name a lot. The dog captain, I guess. I don't. Oh, Komomaru. Komomaru. Yeah, he actually gets one of his ears sliced off. Shunsui. He actually. I don't know if a lot of people notice. He actually loses half of his ear, and he loses his. You all notice he loses his eye, but he actually loses half of his ear. So, if you want to. Check back in the past chapters, and you'll actually notice that he loses half of his ear, Shunsui. And that's it for me, man. Fire Fist Ace. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again.